I actually spent quite a bit of time this weekend watching Razorfist play Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and it really reminded me just how much I love this game in general, right? Lately I've been on a bit of a Kirby kick. I've been playing through Kirby Superstar again. I've been thinking of returning to Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe so I can like get everything on hard mode and do everything there is to do in the game. I'm really big on a Kirby kick right now, but I think it's time to address like an elephant in the room. Now that Mario Wonder has come out, the elephant that is Mario. I think it's time to address the elephant in the room and like the reality of the Kirby franchise is that like Forgotten Land is a masterpiece, right? It's the best in the series. I believe it's like it's sold the most units out of any Kirby game, like something like over 6 million units. Massive success for HAL Labs. The game is phenomenal. Okay, it's my personal favorite Kirby game ever. It made me, I think, into a lifelong fan of Kirby when I traditionally didn't care for these games too much. Okay, like every Kirby I played wasn't great or whatever. Like it took a while for me to like get into the series with like Triple Deluxe and stuff like that. And but I've slowly been like working my way through all these games. I've replayed a couple of them now. And I have to say that I really have become fond of the little pink puffball, right? Like I have become a fan of the Kirby franchise. And I think Forgotten Land is quite easily the best game in the franchise, right? There really is no contesting that. Like, I think it has a significant amount of content. I think it has the most bosses, the most fun powers, the most interesting mechanics. It's fully 3D. It's modernized. Like, I would say it's better than Super Mario 3D World and Super Mario Odyssey. Not that that's saying much because I don't like either of those games, but like Forgotten Land is, I think, a really good example of just how talented HAL Labs actually is and how strong the Kirby license like how strong of a developer they are with utilizing the Kirby IP because it's shocking like looking at these images, looking at like these environments, like thinking back to like the lore and the revelations and like the challenges and all the things you had to do to get everything in this game, like reflecting on that, like, this is probably one of the best gaming experiences I've ever had on Switch. All right, like I don't want to say this right now. I'm sure the Switch still has like a pretty strong like 5 years we can expect, like 5 years, 5 more years of Switch support, right? Before the next console comes out. The Switch is nowhere near being replaced, right? So I don't want to say this right now, but it does kind of feel like Forgotten Land is going to be up there with Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild as being like one of the absolute best games on Switch, right? Like I can't really think of anything that I've played that's as good as this, right? Like there's very few games I've played that I think have impressed me so much as like Forgotten Land did. Right? Like I think back to like 13 Sentinels, like 13 Sentinels is deeply flawed, right? But I loved that game. But would I put it up there with Forgotten Land? No. Like, I love stuff like Pikmin 3. Like would I put that up with Forgotten Land? No. Like it's one of those things where like I'm thinking back to all these games that I love, stuff like Tropical Freeze, stuff like New Super Mario Bros. U. Like, and I think in a lot of ways, a lot of these games like just don't match up to this game. Like, I think in a lot of ways, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a lot better than people give it credit for. Like, I think this is going to be the game like 10, 20 years from now that like everyone who grew up playing it is going to call like one of the best Kirby games ever made, right? Like, I'm already saying that now, but I can't imagine what it's gonna be like when like the people who grew up playing this game like 20 years from now start talking about how great this game was. Like I really do think it's gonna be one of those releases, right? Like it really is a standout title on Switch for a lot of reasons, right? The music's spectacular. Like there's a lot of gameplay variety, great colorful environments, great organic, great smooth visuals, amazing, surprisingly fun, engaging combat. Kirby's always had that, all that, but like, seeing it in like full 3D for the first time ever in this like compelling experience, it's just fantastic. A game that I think has been greatly overlooked by the gaming community. And um I'm curious when I'm going to come back and play this again. It's probably going to be another several years because, I 100% of the game. I did everything in it. It took me a couple of months. I put off doing some of this stuff for a long time. Like I don't know if I did all like the arenas or if I like what I missed out on exactly. I think I just had to like, did I beat the real final boss or did I just have to like collect everything? Did I had to like upgrade all the equipment? I don't remember exactly what it was. Like I don't feel like it was beating the real final boss that like 100% completed the game. I think it was something else. I remember it being kind of like I remember being sad when I went 100% of the game because like I loved the experience. Like I thought the experience was just like this phenomenal thing that like just never let up throughout the entire thing. Like I played through all of these levels like over and over and over again. Like I got every power. I upgraded everything. I saved every Waddle Dee. I fully upgraded the plaza. I beat the super boss at the end, the one that DSP rage quit on. Like I did all of that stuff. And a part of me like really wishes it never ended. Like a part of me is eagerly awaiting like Forgotten Land 2 or like the new Kirby game in general. Like a big reason why I'm playing Superstar right now, a big reason why I was so enthusiastic about Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe is because I loved Forgotten Land so much, right? Like it really is one of those games that I think is really going to pull people in to the Kirby IP. Just like Ocarina of Time made me a Zelda fan back in the day. Just like A Link to the Past continues to pull in people today. Just like games like the original Super Mario Bros. Like Super Metroid. Like the games that just seem to like suck you in and just get you so excited at experiencing like everything the franchise has to offer, right? Like I would put like Kirby and the Forgotten Land up there with the all-time best. It really, really is that good. And I really hope that like eventually people start to understand that and start giving the game the props it deserves because right now it kind of feels like it's in that awkward period where like people are hoping that like the pretendos are hoping we just forget about the game and how good it was and like just kind of move on to the next shiny thing. But I am never going to forget how much I love Forgotten Land. I am never going to forget how much I loved this game. I am never going to like forget how much I love Kirby. I am never going to forget how much I love Nintendo. No matter how much you complain, no matter how much you beg, no matter how much you whine, complain, act up, I will always love these games and I will always talk about how much I love them.